back to my channel. So today I have a really fun and exciting video. I know that I say that like every intro, but this one is actually super exciting because I received the new ColourPop Wild Nothing Collection, which is like their desert themed makeup collection, and they released a bunch of new fun and exciting items, and I tried them out for the first time for you guys on camera, so it's like a first impressions. ColourPop did send me these items, but I'm not paid to give them good reviews, or I'm not sponsored by them or anything. They just sent me the items to play around with on my own time and terms. I really had fun playing with these new items, and I used pretty much everything from the new collection, and I also swatched a lot of things for you guys. You can see all the products pretty in depth, and you can see like how they apply and just like a first impressions of everything. So I think it was a really good video. I really love the look that I created using all of the new products. So if you guys want to see my first impressions and tutorial using the new products from the Wild Nothing collection, then please keep on watching. So ColourPop released 4 new CREME shadows. So these are their new, I'm reading from this paper over here. These are their new long wearing matte shadows, and they're really exciting because everyone loves a nice matte cream shadow, and especially if you guys are familiar with the MAC paint pots, it kind of just gives me those vibes. And I don't know if you guys remember, like back in the day, this was like I think like 5 years ago or something, Maybelline released the matte cream shadows that I remember everyone was going crazy for. I don't think that we had them in Canada. I think we had like a few colors, but we didn't have them all. So I remember the nude one was like the most amazing one and like coveted one because it was kind of like a dupe for the MAC paint pot, which was like the nude one. And this one here kind of gives me those vibes. So this one is in the shade called Bronco, and it is just like a really nice, just kind of like nude matte shadow. So I kind of want to use this maybe as a base for the shadows and just see how that works. So the Wild Nothing collection is really beautiful. The packaging is just amazing. ColourPop always goes like above and beyond with their packaging and just everything. So I was really excited when I saw this. And you can see these are the cream shadows. There's some really nice packaging there. You have like the gold, and it's just really pretty. It's hard because I want to use like all of the new items, but I just don't know if I'll physically be able to use them all. But this is also another one of their cream shadows. This is called Laurel, and it is more of like a dusty rosy kind of pink shade. It's super pretty, and I just love how they're all matte. So as you guys can see, Bronco is a little bit more on like the yellowy sandy side, where Laurel is definitely more pink taupey. Then there is Moonbeam. This is definitely like a nice chocolatey matte brown. It's super pretty as well. And then there is Camouflage. It kind of looks like the Moonbeam shade. It's just a little bit more like a milky chocolate. So it's really, really pretty. I kind of want to swatch that one just to kind of see how like the consistency is. So it does feel like super light. It's not like heavy or thick. You can see that color over there. It's actually like very thin. I thought it would be a little bit more like cakey, but this is like super nice, and it feels like it will be really blendable. Okay, so there are the 4 shades. So this one is the lightest one, that is a Bronco. Then the darkest one is called Moonbeam. Then we have Camouflage over here, which is like the medium tone one. And then this kind of pinky rosy one is Laurel, and they're really pretty. They actually applied really nice and smooth, so I'm excited to use them on my eyes. Okay, so those dried completely matte, and it took me quite a while just to kind of take them off. So that's a really good sign because that means that they will be long wearing, and I love anything that just has a lot of staying power. So definitely liked what I saw so far, but we will see how it wears on the eyelids. I'm gonna start off with the light one. That one was called Bronco, and I'm gonna use that as a base for my shadows. So I'm just gonna take any kind of flat brush here and just place that on my eyelids and see how that blends out. Okay, so it does dry super quickly, and I find that using my fingertips to blend it out is a lot easier than using a brush. So that's definitely a recommendation, and it obviously just depends how you guys are going to be using these shadows. You could also use them to like carve out a cut crease, or you could use them on top of other shadows. Just depends what you want to do. So I just use them as a base, and so far it seems pretty nice. It applied very nicely, and it dried completely matte, and it gave just a nice neutral color to my eyelids. So you could just leave it at that, but I'm going to of course add more shadows on top because I have a really fun palette that I'm excited to play with from this collection. So this palette is the Wild Nothing palette, and of course, as I said, this whole collection is desert themed, and I did see a couple of mixed reviews online about it, and I saw some complaints about the palette just being a really neutral, but I do think it is still super beautiful. I also do think they could have added maybe some more rich colors in there, like maybe a rich pop of green or even more of like a sandy brown, because everything is just kind of one note, but it does seem super pretty, and I'm just excited to see how these colors actually look on the eyes, because sometimes when you see them in the pan, they look much different than when you actually apply them to the eyes. So I'm really excited, and it's a really beautiful palette. So you have 12 shades in here. You have a mix of mattes, metallics. There's also the Super Shock shadow formula. Those, I believe, are the 2 Super Shock shadow formulas, and it's just a really nice palette. I love the mattes in there, and I'm really excited to use it. I also really like how the shades of the shadows are written on the palette. They're also written on the back of the palette, so it's a really nice, well-made palette. I love the embossing on there, how it's like that beautiful gold, and it's just really, really nice. So I think I want to go in with this beautiful like orangey shade here. I'm going to use a fluffy blending brush for that. I'm going to use this Morphe JH35 brush and just like smoke this shade all in the crease and just see how that looks. So as you can see, it's very bright. It's actually much brighter on the lids. I'm not sure if it's because I use that base from ColourPop, or I just think it's actually a very bright shade. In the pan, it looks a little bit more muted than it does actually on the eyelids. So that is really nice, and I just love that. It blended out beautifully, and it's just a really nice matte, like bright peach. Okay, so next going in with this ColourPop E1 brush, I'm gonna go into this nice kind of like deep mauve shade here. This is called Come Together, and it's almost like a brownish with a little bit of purple into it, and it's a nice matte shade. And I'm just gonna use that shade to deepen up the crease a bit. So I really love the way that those 2 shades just like melded together. It just created like this really nice like kind of ombre effect, and it's super pretty, and I kind of just want to keep playing with more shadows from the palette. So I'm going to go in with this dark shade. This is the darkest shade in the palette. It's called No Bounds, and this is like a rich dark chocolate brown, and it's a matte shade again, and it's super beautiful. So I'm going to use that same ColourPop E1 brush, and I'm just going to kind of smoke that more towards the outer edges and just see what happens from there. As you guys can see, I'm just kind of placing that rich dark brown just towards the outer corner and just taking it a little bit towards the middle, but I'm not bringing it too close to the inner corner. Everything is really pigmented and blending really nice, and as you can see, there's like minimal fallout, and I'm not even trying to like have no fallout because I am going to do my foundation after, so I'm just going to wipe this away, and the shadows are just really good quality. Okay, now there's so many more beautiful shades in this palette that I really still want to use, but I do want to give some love to some other products, and I kind of want to use another one of their CREME shadows again. This is their darkest one called Moonbeam. I'm just going to use this flat brush here. This is a Morphe JH41 brush, and I'm going to place this really nice matte cream shadow all on the lid. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm blending that cream shadow just into the other shadows that we use, so everything is nice and blended. And I just think it's a really nice, it dries also super quick again, so you just want to make sure that you are applying it quickly and blending it as quick as you can. And it just applied really nicely, and I got a lot of pigmentation. Okay, so now I'm just gonna use a wet wipe and just clean off any fallout. And I just kind of created like a cat eye with the shadows there just by wiping away and cleaning it, and that's just a nice easy trick just to kind of make everything look nice and clean. Okay, so part of the collection, they also released a couple of new Jelly Mud shadows, and these are one of my favorite formulas from ColourPop because they're just so pigmented and beautiful, and I'm obsessed with them. So the 2 shades here are called Mojave Moves, and then there is Mystical. So Mojave Moves, more of like a champagne pearl shade. It's so beautiful. And then we have Mystical, which is definitely more of like a bronzy peach. So there are shades of both of them. That is Mystical and that is Mojave Moves, and you can see that's almost like a neon Pearl. It's like so beautiful, it's so bright, and that is definitely like a nice bronzy kind of peachy shade. It's so pretty. This formula is great because it does also dry to a nice matte finish on your lid, so it will stay all day long. And I think I want to add a little bit of this shade over here. This one's called Mystical. I just want to add it to the inner corner just to kind of give it like a bronzy pop, and I think that will look amazing. I just love these kind of shades. It goes with the eye look that I created today, so I'm going to add some of that on with this brush. This is a Morphe JH41 brush. Wow guys, that shade is just so pretty. As you can see, it's like super bright and metallic, and it definitely dries to a nice matte finish, so you don't have to worry about like things kind of flaking or creasing. And I really love that shade. So I'm just gonna finish my foundation and just like my base off camera, and then I'm gonna come back to use a few more products from the collection and to finish this makeup look. Okay guys, so I'm back. I have my foundation on, my concealer. I also have some bronzer, and I did a little bit of a nose highlighting, or a lot. So now I'm just gonna finish off the rest of my eye makeup and then use some more fun new products from the collection, some base products. And let's just start by finishing off the eyes. I'm gonna go back into that nice orangey shade here. This one was called Morningside, and I'm just gonna use a small little blending brush. This is a Hank & Henry brush in the style Monica, and I'm just gonna smoke that on the lower lash line. Now going in with the other shade that we also used. This one is called Come Together. I'm going to use a little thinner pencil brush. This is a Morphe JH38 brush, and I'm just going to kind of smoke that towards the outer corner. Okay, so now to highlight the inner corner of my eyes, I want to use this beautiful Jelly Matte shadow. This is the other shade called Mojave Moves, and it is that really nice, beautiful neon pearl shade. So I'm just going to use that with a little flat brush, and just going to place that on my inner corners. See how bright that shade is. It is so pretty. You can see, you just need the tiniest bit because this is like a blinding inner highlight. It's definitely not subtle in the least, but I love it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put on some mascara, and I'm going to pop on a pair of lashes, and I'll be right back to finish off the face with some more ColourPop products from the new collection. Okay, so ColourPop also released 3 new blushes, part of this collection, and I love the packaging. It just is really nice nude plastic, compact, and it has some gold on there, and it's just so pretty. I love the color of it and like the shape of it. I think they did a really great job on the blush packaging. So there's 3 new shades, and I love all of them. First, there's this really nice deep peach. This is like a bronzy peach shade. This one is called Crossroads, and it is super beautiful. Then we have my favorite, which is this beautiful kind of like dusty tangerine shade. It's so pretty. This one is called Wayfarer, and it's really beautiful. These are all like matte with a little bit of like sheen, just like very slightly, that you can almost hardly see it, but it's really pretty. I love the shade here. And then last but not least, we have this really nice, almost like strawberry pink coral shade, and this one is called On the Horizon, and it is super beautiful. And I also have to say that these compacts have nice big mirrors, which is amazing, and they're actually really big and really nice, so that's definitely a plus. I think I'm going to use the more peachy shades, which are these ones here. This one is the Crossroads, and this one is Wayfarer, and I just think that it will go better with my eyes today because I did more of like a peachy nude look. So first I'm going to go in with this darker one here, Crossroads, and I'm just going to place that with this Morphe JH06 brush, and I'm just going to place that color along the cheekbones. The blush is really nice. It's actually really blendable. It's not like so pigmented where it's like shockingly pigmented and then you feel like you have a lot of blending work to do. This one is really nice. It applies super pretty, as you can see, and it just adds like almost that like tan look, like that flush, just sun-kissed look. It's really pretty. I also like to add a little bit to the tip of my nose and the bridge. Like I said, there is like a little bit of a subtle sheen. This one has a little bit more golden sheen in there, you can kind of see. Okay, now to add a little bit of a pop of a brighter orange, I'm gonna go in with this shade here called Wayfarer, and I love this blush. It looks so pretty, so I'm excited to see how it's gonna look on the cheeks. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that with that same Morphe brush, and just place it more towards the apples of my cheeks. So it definitely kind of adds a nice orangey pop. Wow, so I really love those blushes. They honestly blend out so nice. I find that these blushes are a little bit less pigmented, so they make blending out super easy, and that is actually a plus because sometimes you don't want like such a pigmented blush. Don't get me wrong, these are very pigmented. As you can see, I have some nice color on my cheeks, but I just find that they're like super blendable and just kind of like a really nice texture. It's kind of hard to explain, but they just blend out really nicely, and I love those two colors. I'm just gonna add a little bit of highlight to my face. I don't have any new products from the collection. There's no highlights, but I'm just gonna highlight my face, and then I'll be back to finish off the lips with some new products from that collection. Okay guys, so the last thing that ColourPop released, part of this collection, is their new Luxe lip oils, and I was really excited because I feel like lip oils are like a thing, especially when you just kind of want like that nice flush of color where you don't want to like commit to wearing like a lipstick or like a matte lipstick or anything. These are just really nice. So they've released a few shades, and they're all on the nude side. There is even a clear one. So this is their Luxe lip oil set, and it is super pretty. It's called Cactus Blossoms. So you're getting 5 lip oils part of the set, and it says that they are nourishing, lightweight. It is like a gel oil, and it's made with a blend of antioxidant rich chamomile and calendula, and leave your lips kissably soft. So that is always something that we want. Okay, so these are really pretty, and they are definitely more on the sheer side because they are lip oil, so you get like that kind of flush of color, which is super pretty, and I really love them. I love all the nude shades. If you know me, I'm like a nude lip lover. These are the 5 shades swatched. One over here is called Bengal, which is more on the rosy pink side. Then this one here is Playa Vista. It's definitely more on the coral side. Then there is Hot Shot. It kind of looks like this one, but it's a little touch lighter. And then you have this nude one, which is called Skinny Dip, and it is so pretty. And then of course you just have the clear one. That one is called Dewdrop. So before I put any on, I am gonna line my lips a little bit. This is the NARS Precision Lip Liner in the shade called Vents. And I think I wanna go in with this more like corally shade here. This one is called Bengal. I'm just gonna place that all over my lips. And I also want to mix a little bit of this lighter nude one. This one is Skinny Dip. And I'm going to kind of mix those 2 shades together just to create a really nice light pink shade. So as you can see, those lip oils are super pretty. They honestly feel so moisturizing on the lips. They're like really, really like silky smooth, and they're not that shiny. So if you're not like fond of too much of like a glossy lip, then these will be perfect. It kind of feels like a really shiny chapstick in a way. And I love that you get that flush of color. I just think that they're super pretty. They feel so nice on the lips. So guys, I really, really love this entire collection. I saw some like mixed reviews online. I know that some people were complaining about the eyeshadow palette, that it was just not colorful enough, but I honestly think it is really beautiful. Granted, I do think that they could have added maybe more of like a pop of green or like a few more like bright colors there, but if you love your neutral colors, then you will be really satisfied. There's a bunch of beautiful like nice neutral mattes and some pops of metallic. Of course, everything is pretty neutral, and let me know if you guys want to see more eyeshadow looks using that palette. I would love to play around with it some more and create some different looks. Honestly, the cream shadows were also really amazing. I love the matte shades. I just think that they are so versatile. You could use them for so many looks. They're just really easy. I found them super simple to apply. They dried super quickly, but they also will last you all day long with no creasing. I feel like that I don't have any creasing, and it's been probably like an hour so far that I've been filming, and I found that it also helped my shadow apply really nicely and pigmented. I really love the matte shades that they came out with, and I think that they're super nice. I was waiting for ColourPop to release some matte cream shadows because they have a lot of the metallics, but to have like a matte one I feel like is more rare for some reason, but we all love those matte shadows, so I'm really happy that they finally came out with them. And they're obviously super affordable. ColourPop is amazingly affordable and such good quality, so I really, really love the cream shadows. shadows. I also love the Jelly Mud shadows. As you guys can see, I applied both of them today on my eyes and they're just so pigmented. They also set completely on your lids, so you don't have to worry about like creasing or anything, and they last all day long. They're really, really beautiful. I love the colors. I just think that they're so pigmented. They're so metallic. They're just really gorgeous. And that's just one of my favorite formulas from ColourPop as well. So I was really excited when I saw more shades. I also really, really love the blushes. I love the compacts, the new compacts. They just seem so like luxurious, and I love like the nude with the gold. I just think they did an amazing job, and especially adding that nice big mirror in there. I just think that the blushes honestly blended out really, really nicely. As you guys saw, it was like super just easy to apply. They kind of just like diffused onto the face and made everything just look really nice. And these new lip oils are a really cool formula. If you guys aren't really crazy about wearing like so much like lipstick or gloss or matte lips, then you will love these because they kind of give you the feeling of a gloss mixed in with a chapstick. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, but they're not like heavy or anything, and they just really moisturize your lips. So I was really, really excited when I saw this new collection from ColourPop, and honestly I was super impressed. I was just kind of a little nervous because I did see some like not so great reviews on this collection, so I'm actually quite surprised because I honestly loved everything I tried. So I would love to know your opinion. If you guys have purchased anything and tried anything, I would love to know what you guys think and what your favorite products were from this collection. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!